Good morning, and welcome to Candid Conversations with me, Linda Burhans. This podcast is just to bring you some more information and to meet some interesting people because there's a lot of good stuff out there that we need to talk about. So today I have my friend Arlene Grosso and Jillian Rose with us today. So I would like you ladies to introduce yourself to our listeners and tell them who you are.
Hi, I'm Arlene Grosso. I chair the Falls Free Pinellas Coalition, and I'm also president and co-owner of Access and Design, a home modification and commercial modification company.
I'm so glad you're here today. And you too, Jillian.
Hi, I'm Jillian Rose. I'm with the Pinellas Park Fire Department. One of my main jobs here with the fire department is being a fire and life safety educator. And one of my goals is to help reduce falls in our community. And I've been lucky enough to partner with Arlene for a few years now, and we're doing what we can to make a difference.
And you do make a difference. I always say I'm so blessed to live in this Tampa Bay area where there are professionals that really want to work together, that really want to make a difference. Because I go speak in other states many times, that it's not the same. Everybody's worried about who's stepping on whose toes or whatever else.
But we're very blessed.
We're very blessed. We do a really good job of it. It makes me really happy. And I think fall prevention and access to your home is so many things that need to be discussed. We have so many seniors here. So let's talk about how the coalition was formed.
Well, it evolved out of the Better Living for Seniors, which is an organization under the Area Agency on Aging for Pasco and Pinellas County. And they have a bunch of committees. I was chair of the Falls Prevention Committee. And then we started to evolve, bringing in guest speakers who wanted to become involved more in the coalition. And I always thought a coalition is necessary because it brings all sorts of people together, not just, a group of members.
Right.
So we actually broke away from the Better Living for Seniors and added consumer advocates and other people outside of the BLS membership. We focus on education, awareness, and resources. And right now, CARES, the organization out of Pasco County, which is the community of for aging and retirement services out of Pasco County. Gail Holton heads that, and she wanted to become part of the coalition. And then we have Jason Martino and also Stacy Boland from the Area Agency on Aging. So it kind of evolved right back forward again.
Yeah.
So that's how we got started.
All right. So Jillian, how did you get involved with Arlene?
So our fire chief noticed that falls were becoming a big issue in our community, and he asked for myself and the EMS chief to.
Can you talk just a little bit louder?
Sure. My fire chief noticed that falls were becoming a big issue in our community, so he put me in touch with our EMS chief at the time to go out into the community, see what you can find. Has anybody already put something together? And I ended up bumping into the coalition, and I thought, a fall prevention coalition, this is great, because we knew that falls were something that was going to be much bigger than us solving on our own. And, to have a team, or even a village in this case, just makes things 10 times better. So I went and found out about the meetings, and I started attending, and that's where I met Arlene. One of the best things that came from that meeting, we actually got to meet Linda Goldman, who has been on your show before with Sages. And she was currently writing a play, and she was thinking about writing a play on fall prevention. And I said, you write that play and I'll get it in our community. We were having such a hard time getting people to attend anything fall prevention related.
Right.
In fall prevention, and people would just go the opposite way. But she wrote the play, we, put it on, and it actually brought over 525 people to our performing arts center. So talk about bringing attention to fall prevention. It was amazing. And so many people could relate because it was people there.
It's a whole different conversation when you're a member in the audience. Then you start talking to your girlfriend who's sitting next to you, and then you go home and you tell your next door neighbor, you know, and you just start thinking.
That was exactly what we were getting from the audience. You know, I can see myself doing this, and they actually got to see the consequence it would bring. So it really, you know, really ramped up. And then from there, that brought Rainey Chris Ames with Ames Productions. They did a documentary on our local fall prevention efforts, and it featured, you know, our fire department, our community. And that was great. That brought 350 people to our Performing Arts Center. We actually hosted the documentary live. And, you know, we were really hot and heavy, and the coalition just kept, you know, forming and doing great things, and COVID hit. And we thought, what are we going to do? You know, we still need to get the word out. We still need people to, you know, get fall prevention education.
Right.
With the help of the coalition, we formed, we put in our local cable stations the Saving Claire documentary that people could air. But we also made a live talk show out of it. And we had panel members that included a board certified doctor, a pharmacist, Arlene Grosso with home fit modifications, myself, my fire chief, and so many more people that were on the panel. So this way, members from our community could get the education right from the comfort of their home. And we also allowed them to call in and ask questions. So we were still having that contact, that socialization. It was different. So great things have come from this coalition, and you know, I'm very excited to be a part of it.
And so tell me about this exciting new project that we're going to bring more information to our youth.
Well, you know, that September coming up is Falls Prevention Month. It started out with the National Coalition on Aging as a Falls Prevention Day, always on the first day of fall. So the first day of autumn is September 22nd. Then it evolved into Falls Prevention Week, and now it's Falls Prevention Month. So we have a lot of things that we do to raise awareness on falls prevention. You know, for a long time, we've been discussing the ageism factor. When we try to, like Jillian said, we try to give information to people, they actually do run away from us. And they say, I don't need that. I don't need that. But I know in our business, very few people plan ahead. They wait until they fall, and we get calls from people in rehab saying, I need a ramp. I won't be able to get in or out of my house, you know, because I fell. So we could have prevented a lot of these things. So it's a matter of education and getting the word out. And it's always bothered me that I haven't been able to reach the older people that are necessary to reach. And in discussion one day with my grandson, Max Tomey, he said, Grandma, you're always talking about falls prevention, but he says, why don't you have the kids tell the grandparents? When mom tells you something, you don't want to listen. He says, when I tell you something, you're all ears. And so it dawned on me that the older people will enamor the words of a young child, whether it be a special older adult, an aunt, whatever, a special friend. So, and
young children don't want their grandma to fall.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look how many grandparents we lost through COVID. So it's, you know, they become more and more precious as time goes on. And so I mentioned it to the coalition that this was my dream project, to have something to do with Grandparents' Day. That
dreams do come true.
Yeah. And so Jillian Rose took the ball. We formed a steering committee. Okay. And Jillian put together this project. It's a craft project. And we've already done it, which she'll explain to you, at rec centers. And the kids have had a ball. They've learned something. There's very little early childhood education on falls prevention. In fact, we searched and searched. There is none. And I talked with the National Coalition on Aging regarding this project. They have endorsed it. They think it's wonderful. It'll be posted on their website soon. But it's really one of the best things I think we've ever done. I call it the Jillian Rose project. And I'm going to let Jillian explain exactly what it is and how we're going to do this.
Okay.
So Arlene is correct. We searched and searched. There is no curriculum for children at all in fall prevention. And, we thought what a great idea this would be to actually create something that's going to start children thinking about fall prevention. Not only are they going to help prevent things happening to their older loved ones, but, it's going to get them in the mindset where they're going to start thinking and taking a look around. So the first project that we have put together, we called the Falls Free Flower Project, and it's very simple. You get a sheet that looks exactly like this, and the kids are going to color it in and cut it out. And
I need you to come a little closer to the microphone.
They can uniquely put it together, and they can do just the basic project, and the basic project comes out looking like this. Or they can be a little bit creative, and we actually put one in a terracotta pot with a popsicle stick. But it does have this 6 steps from the NCOA, and we did get the NCOA's approval to put it on the flower petals. Finding a good balance and exercise program, talking to your healthcare provider, regularly review your medications, both over the counter and prescribed. Getting your vision and hearing checked, keeping your home safe, removing tripping hazards, increased lighting,
right?
And talking to your family members, so each one of these steps are actually listed on the flower petal. And then in the center, we have, just a cute little poem. This one is actually designed for Grandparents' Day, which is September 12th. And it says, Grandparents' Day is special to all, and we want to protect you from a fall. Just a few tips from me to you to help keep you safe and protected too. Because you are special to me, I want to help you stay fall free. So
that brings tears to my eyes.
That was our initial project. And we thought, you know what? We don't want something just limited to Grandparents' Day. We want something that is going to be all year long. So we actually came up with a secondary project too that can be utilized all year long. We changed the poem just slightly. And, this will allow people to use it any time of the year and not just for Grandparents' Day. The scope and idea of this project is to just bring attention, that falls are the leading, cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries for people over the age of 60. And
so are you going to go into the schools and do this?
Yes. So we actually piloted the program at one of our summer camps here in Pinellas Park at our local recreation center. And it was very successful. We actually took quite a few pictures. I sent some to you, Linda, as well.
Yeah, I'll see if I can put them up, if I can add them.
Yeah, and the kids took to the project very well. And one of the things that we explained, because we knew this could possibly be an issue, if children don't have a grandparent or an older adult loved one that they could give this to, we also put in the options of the instructional letter that they can donate this to a local senior center, they can donate it to assisted living facility or a nursing home. And the whole idea behind it is, if kids give you a project like this, you don't want to, throw it away. You're going to look at it. You're going to hang it on your refrigerator.
You're going to tell your next door neighbor. You're going to tell your girlfriend.
Yeah. And, hopefully that one tip will be in there that might help or, even save a life.
It will.
Something that simple that can be that big. So
yeah, I'm in Kiwanis for like 15 years, and we do a lot of work with K kids in the schools. And I'm thinking, oh, this would be like a perfect project. Yeah. My grandchildren, they know all about Alzheimer's and dementia because they're with me all the time. But I've never really discussed falls prevention with them, with the kids. And so I think I'll do that, and we'll do some projects.
And they fall too,
Yeah.
They're not aware of their surroundings a lot of times. So one thing I want to mention is that when Jillian was presenting the 6 steps, she really went through and gave the kids the education. And then afterwards, when the project was done and they showed their handiwork off, very proudly, I might add, she asked them, can anyone give me one of the steps of falls prevention? And you'd be surprised how much they absorbed.
Kids are smart.
Yeah. Yes, it was so enlightening to know that
kids love their grandparents.
Education.
And there are many grandparents that have custody of their grandchildren.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And they're kind of like taking care of each other. I mean, because
Yes.
we have so many, such a large senior population here, but we have a big population of kids too.
Yes, we do. We do. And we're going to be working with some intergenerational organizations that people have given me tips to. So there's a lot of people that are going to be using this. We have a art teacher in Hillsborough County. We have people in Jacksonville. And of course, Pasco County CARES, like I said, has merged with us. The Department of Elder Affairs is very interested in spreading this out to all the other coalitions in Florida.
Yeah.
So, and the National Coalition on Aging, of course, is very interested in broadcasting this to the other coalitions around the United States. So I think it's really going to become something that we're going to be very, very proud of, but it'll be very, very worthwhile, and somebody's going to benefit from it.
Definitely. A lot of people are going to benefit for it. So somebody's watching this, and they go, how do I get one of those templates? How, because we're going to have people watching from all over. How can they get a template?
So what you can do is you can contact myself or Arlene through email. My email address is jrose, ROSE, at pinellas-park.com, or they can contact me by phone. It's 727-369-5812. Arlene, I'll let you give your information, and I'll tell them about the Facebook as well too.
Okay, it's Arlene, ARLENE, at access and the word and designfl.com. And my phone is 727-560-8965.
And I'll put all this in the description of the show so people have it.
Yes, and then one other way, if you go to Facebook, if you look up Falls Free Pinellas, that is our coalition site. They can always, send a message through the actual Facebook page, and we can accommodate them as well. We monitor the Facebook.
That's fabulous. So, Arlene, I was talking to you the other day. There's some other good news things going on with helping seniors, with access. And so let's talk about that a little bit while I have you here.
Yeah, very, very excited. A couple weeks ago, our Congressman, Charlie Crist, actually reintroduced a bill that he had introduced in 2017 called the Senior Accessible Housing Act. And why this is important is because it gives up to a $30,000 lifetime tax credit or refundable tax credit. There's a difference for those people who can't afford to get these improvements. And it will be for modifications to age in place or for people with disabilities that need these things. We see way too many people needing ramps that can't get in and out of their house, and they call the fire department.
Yeah.
Now, the Pinellas Park Fire Department and all the rest of our wonderful fire departments take those calls, and they take people in and out of their homes. The EMS services does in order to go to the doctor, go to the grocery store. They cannot really refuse, and they don't want to refuse either. But when they're doing that, they take time from the EMS call that's down the street of somebody choking or having a heart attack or a car accident. So it's precious seconds being lost on delivery of another team. So what we want to do is make sure that people have what they need to safely live in their home, to safely age in place. More people want to stay at home than at any other place. So this
and most people that you're looking to serve, believe me, they can't afford to go anywhere else except home. They're not going to be going into a community or anything. They're going to be staying in their mobile home or their little house or whatever it is. That during COVID, my daughter's a hairdresser.
Yeah.
And one of her clients asked if she could come to his house and cut his hair.
Wow.
And she said, sure. And she came home that day and she said to me, Mom, I went over to his place. He lives in a mobile home. There's a big hole in the floor, and he just has a piece of plywood laying on top of it.
Oy.
That it's like so dangerous. I don't know what to do. Well, gratefully, he lived in Largo, and I called Joel Quattlebaum, and it's all fixed now through a grant. But people don't even know that stuff is available for them.
Right.
Any kind of help. I mean, that changed that man's life. The neighbor called up my daughter crying. You changed that man's life, and I'm hoping I'm not like an old lady stuck somewhere by myself. You know what I mean? I don't think I'll be, but
we don't know what lies ahead. That's the problem. And, we're so dependent on other people as we age. And when someone falls, it not only affects you with pain and suffering and monetary problems that you'll have when you get your hospital bill, but it is also a burden on those who love you and take care of you, your neighbor, your child, your friend, your family. They have to take time off of work. They have the worry of will you fall again? Someone who falls has a 40% chance of falling again. So to prevent that first fall is crucial.
Yeah.
And that's the most powerful part about the bill. If it's passed, it'll actually give people a chance to be proactive before they have the fall. They'll be able to install the grab bars and all of that.
Right.
Good stuff that's going to help protect them versus waiting until after they have the fall.
Yeah. I mean, I want to, in the future, I'm 68, but I'm not going to be able to climb in that tub. I'm going to need to modify my bathroom.
Yeah.
So I can just walk in there and stuff. But I think about it because I'm faced with it every day. But a lot of us need to think about these things ahead of time before that problem happens.
Absolutely. What we all can do is, I don't have the number handy, but I had sent it to you to post on your.
I did, and I'll put it on this too.
Okay. It is the Capitol switchboard number to our U.S. Capitol. And if you don't know who your representative or senator is, the beauty of it is that you just give them your address and zip code, and they'll connect you with that office. Now, that senator or representative probably won't answer the phone, but their aides will, and they have to log every call. What's important is not just saying, I want the Senior Accessible Housing Act to pass. I want you to find out about it. I want you to make sure that you do something about it, because this is very important to me, because I'm concerned about how I'm going to pay for the improvements to my home.
Right. And am I going to be safe as I age?
Right. And so that I can safely age in place. So it's not just a matter of saying, I want you to pass this, I want you to vote for it. It's a matter of telling them why it's important to you.
Right.
And if we do inundate the Capitol with these calls from all around the United States, you betcha people are going to say, I think we better invest. I think we better look into this. And really, now it's been before the Ways and Means Committee, and the Ways and Means Committee thought it was a great idea. But that has to still go to vote, but it has to gain momentum first. And the only way it's going to gain momentum is by people reacting to it, and people saying, we need this.
Yep. The squeaky wheel gets oiled.
Yep.
We just make them not want to hear from us anymore. Just take care of it. You won't have to hear from us anymore. I mean, I have a lot of people that'll do it just to call up just to be a pain in the neck, because
so they can talk to somebody.
Well, with falls and everything too, seniors can be very stubborn, and there's something, and they're proud.
Yes.
So many times they're gonna fall at home by themselves and not even tell anybody. And if their children call up, then they never tell them they fell. Everything's good, everything's fine. So anybody that's listening to this show today, if you're caring for someone, even long distance, and I know it's been really hard with COVID, go see them. Because they're going to lie to you on the phone, tell you everything is just fine. And if you can't see them, you need to get to be friends with their neighbors or somebody from church or whatever that's going to go over there and give you the real story. One of my caregivers is a long distance caregiver, and she got to be friends with the neighbors, and she went to visit her mom, and she went over and she was talking with the neighbor, and the neighbor says, oh, we were so worried when the ambulance came and took her away 2 weeks ago. Well, she never told her children. Yeah. So let's try to take care of this stuff so nobody has to be hiding behind feeling bad because they're stubborn.
Well, it happens too often. That's the problem, Linda. And, this show and all the other things you do to bring awareness to these problems is so wonderful, because people don't know. When I was having a caregiving experience, I only wished that I had known you.
I wish I knew me too.
Yeah. You learn by trial and error, because there's no course that you can take on being a caregiver. So all this information is so important to helping to help loved ones get through this tough but rewarding experience.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's so much better when you can walk around and do stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And a lot less painful. All right, ladies, what's the last thing you want to say to our listeners today? Call up.
Yes,
So,
make that call to the Capitol, please. I beg you to do this. It is something that we really need, and it will also help people in mobile homes.
Right.
One thing I was adamant that it had to include.
Yes.
We have a lot of mobile homes in Florida. We have a lot of mobile homes across the United States, and they have a very difficult time getting funding for anything like this. So please, even if you're 30 years old listening to this, or 12, doesn't make any difference. Call.
Yes.
Hey, Alexa, call.
Right.
And I actually did find that phone number, ladies. So the Capitol switchboard phone number is 202-224-3121. And all you have to do is provide your zip code, and they'll be able to connect you with your state representative.
Perfect. You know, Alexa just heard you, and she has dialed that number.
Good.
All right, ladies, thanks so much for being with me today. I hope to see you both soon. And please keep up the good work. It's so important to our community and to our seniors.
Thank you for all you do.
You're welcome. And have a delicious day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay falls free.
Yeah, stay falls free.